everyone. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Myself, Vaibhav. In today's session, we are likely to see choppy moves till the FOMC monetary policy announcement, and after that, of course, you can count on some sharp moves. But this time around, we don't really expect any surprise announcement or changes in the statement of the Fed. And as the expectations stand, we are likely to see the interest rates left unchanged at 0 to 0.25% band, and the asset purchase program, which is currently running at the pace of US dollar 120 billion per month, is not going to be changed in any way. And the guidance, or you can say any hint on the possible tapering, the details are also likely to be not presented in this meeting, and we will have to wait till next month, the Jackson Hole Symposium, for that. And on the data docket, we had some releases earlier in the day, including the inflation data for Canada. And if we go back in time to European trading hours, there we had these consumer confidence data for the Germany. And as these releases were minor and we didn't really see much impact, I will not go into the details of that. But if we consider the light crude oil inventory data, which was released just a couple of minutes back, we are seeing the decline of more than 4 million barrels, and the recent uptrend is likely to get fresh support from these inventories, and the upward trajectory is expected to continue, and we can expect the US dollar 75 per barrel level to be retested again in coming days, or maybe in course of couple of weeks. We are not really far off, and given the tendency of the light crude to move sharply, we can expect those levels rather soon. And now, moving to the technical segment, we will first consider the outlook for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and afterwards, we will also see what's happening in the USD JPY. Let's start with the Dow Jones Industrial Average technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and as we are waiting for the FOMC monetary policy announcement, the moves in the Dow have been buoyant so far. We have these almost close to all-time high price action in the Dow, and I think we are likely to see new highs being tested again. And if we see some kind of dovish hint, then maybe in today's session we will be looking for a fresh close on the all-time high levels for the Dow, and in course of time we can even expect the move towards 36,000, but that is of course likely to take more time, and that's more for the swing trades. But even if you are looking to count on the sharp moves after the FOMC announcement, I think it will be better to stick with the bullish trend for the Dow, and accordingly we can indeed look for some buying opportunities. If you consider the lower time frame chart formation of the 4 hourly time frame, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average consolidating closer to these first resistance of this month's pivot point series. But if we consider the price action, it has been quite bullish, and looking at this momentum, I think we can expect these resistance to be tested soon. And if we are going to see any kind of dovishness or dovish tilt from the Fed, then in that kind of scenario, we can even expect a breakout beyond these first resistance and move towards 35,500. Can't be ruled out. On the lower side, we can expect these immediate swing lows, the consolidation lows, to act as a near-term support, and we can count on that while taking any trading decision. If you consider the regression curve, it has flattened as the price action has gone sideways, but the underlying momentum still remains bullish. And as I said, we will have to rely mostly on the immediate price action. For most part of today's session, we have seen the price action to be sideways, and looking at this immediate swing low, we can expect the levels of around 34,900 to act as a decisive marker for the day. And on the lower side, the stop loss can be kept below this 200 SMA mark. But we do have to be mindful of the fact that we can expect some sharp moves after the release, and to avoid any un- unwanted stop loss being hit, we can avoid taking the position, and once the release comes in, we can place the order immediately in the direction of the jump, and that way we can avoid any move which might bring us losses, and after the clarity emerges, we can think about going in for the new trade, and looking at this price formation, we can expect the move to be on the higher side, but of course no move is certain, so we will have to be watchful. Now, looking for the currency segment, we will consider the USD JPY's technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and the USD JPY has moved sharply for last couple of days. If you consider its fall of more than 60 pips in yesterday's session, it was looking like that it is now going to go back towards the immediate low form closer to 109, but that didn't really materialize, and it has reversed most of its losses, and for the time being it is holding well above 110 mark. And I think looking at its current market move, and the move, we can expect it to hold the levels, and for that 110 is going to be decisive. Couple of days back I had done a session titled similarly, and even in today's session the 110 level is going to be crucial, and as long as USD JPY is holding well above it, we will have to be cautious and not go for the short sale trade. Rather than that, if after the release comes a sharp move on the higher side, we can even think about getting involved for a long trade and expect a breakout beyond this immediate swing high, and a move towards 111 can be expected. So here, looking at this immediate price formation, we can keep in mind this resistance, which is likely to cap the upside for the USD JPY in today's session, and a breakout above that will be crucial for any sustained change in the trajectory. For last couple of weeks, the price action has been sideways. We haven't really seen any breakout in a sustained basis on either side. Rather than that, the range has been narrow, and the USD GPY has consolidated in this 100 pips range. And now, as we have a big announcement coming in, we will have to count on that for any breakout, and then take the decision accordingly. On the higher side, this is the hurdle. This is the price which needs to be crossed by the USD JPY for a move towards the 111, and even beyond that towards this recent swing high from closer to 112. And if we see sustained bullishness in today's session, then I think the trajectory is likely to change, and we can count on the USD JPY to rally at least towards 111, if not beyond that. And if we want to take any trading decision, we will have to mostly rely on these lower time formation of the hourly time frame. We have these three SMAs converging closer to these 110 level, and that's why I said even in today's session, the 110 is going to be a crucial level to watch out for. And as long as this level remains intact and we don't really have any sharp move on the lower side, till then, we can be hopeful of a sustenance of these upwardness of bullish movement in today's session. And on the higher side, if we consider these prior swing high from closer to 110.5, that level can be our intraday target, and we can expect a move in today's session itself toward these 110.5. And for that, we will have to look for the any changes in the FOMC monetary policy statement. If there is any hawkish tilt, then I think the near-term trajectory for the USD is going to change from sideways to bullish, and we can take our chances and try to go for the buy trade. And stop loss is not going to be much wide. If we are going in for the trade anywhere close to 110, the stop loss can be kept closer to this immediate swing low. I think a stop loss of around 25-30 pips should be good enough. But we do have to wait for the monetary policy announcement, and only after that, a clearer picture is likely to emerge, and accordingly, we can take the decision. So that's it from my side for today's session. And if any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind you of the Ducoscopy Analytics page on which you can access information on the further market developments. You can start trading using the G4X platform. We're also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.